I have one of the coldest stories. You know, I came from a society that I spoke Spanish up to about 72, and then from 73 to 79 till my mother died, it became a thing called Spanglish.
Right.
Everybody spoke Spanglish. Very funny, very, very hilarious, the words that they chose to pick. You know, and I think, you know, I was goofing on you today with the Louis C.K. thing.
Yeah.
There was a guy when I was growing up that was not a comedian. He was a bookmaker.
He would jerk off a lot?
No, and he hung out at my mother's bar. And he was there. He was one of these guys that got a job years ago and claimed disability. And after that, he paid the doctor a percentage to claim him on disability. And he collected a check plus unemployment. In those days, it was a scam.
Yeah.
So you got unemployment. All you had to do was go to the doctor every 6 months, give him an extra $300, and he kept you fucking disabled in those days. And the doctor would come to my mother's bar. So it was just a paternal scam that went on. And then he would go back to work for 6 months, but in the winter. So in the summer, they lay him off, so he'd be there taking baseball bets. But anyway, he was just one of those guys who was a fixture at my mother's bar. He would get there at 10 and sit at the bar and make some calls and walk to the corner. Then he'd come back, and that when I said besita, and he would start off with beers till about lunchtime, then about after lunch, then he'd start with the hard stuff, but at 5:01, he was home. And I grew to love him. In fact, the night before I did Gotham for the New York Comedy Festival, I got together with some friends at a bar called Bar 1 in North Bergen, my high school teacher bar. He was my 7th grade teacher's bar. And a kid showed up, Dean Laprete, and he brought up this guy Arnardo because this kid Dean Laprete, I know him so long that he went to my mother's bar. And one day we were playing wiffle ball, and we tried to cut the bat open to put rocks in it, to tape it up to make the bat heavy.
Yeah.
So you can hit the ball would go farther.
Sure.
And I cut my thumb right there. And the scar's still right there. I cut it with the knife I had to cut lemons with. And he goes, "Whatever happened to that guy?" And I go, "You know, man, I've gone through Facebook looking for his kids. Google, I feel lucky. I never traced his kids back, not one of them. He had 2 daughters and a gay son. And in the 70s, if you were Cuban and you had a gay son, it was something that was taboo, you know?"
Yeah.
I loved him the same. He said some of the funniest fucking things I ever heard in my life. In fact, I said one of them today to somebody. Like, we were talking at the bar one time. I must have been 17 in conversation, you know? And we were talking about dicks or something. Like, he would always ask me, like, "What's going on with you with that skinny chick? You fucking her yet?" Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, you know, like he wasn't my uncle, but he was unofficially my uncle.
Sure.
And I really liked him. He had kids. His wife was called La Gallega. That's a different part of Cuba. And they cooked tremendous. She used to cook and send food to the bar. So we were like a family. But he would always ask me. Like one time, I used to dry hump this girl. So it drove my mother crazy. So I used to lock my door. So my mother made him get a ladder and put it against the side of the house while I was dry humping New York. And he made him go up. And I kind of heard something on the side of the I kind of heard something, and finally through the air conditioner I heard the ladder fall and him fall, and he slipped and he broke like his ankle. And I go back there and "What are we doing?" "Oh, we were fixing the air conditioner." Like, he was just a solid dude. Like, I liked him. But he told me 2 things one time. One time we were in conversation, and he was talking to me. He goes, "What, are you crazy or what?" He goes, "I let a faggot suck my dick one time with an ice cube in his mouth." He goes, "Tenía la boca fría, compadre, que rico." And he was dead serious. And what he said was, he let him, like, we were just talking. You know, we were just talking like I'm like 16. You know?
It sounded romantic.
Yeah, and there was like a fag at the bar, hanging out. And he was like, look at that fag over there. And, and all of a sudden he's like, did I ever tell you the story about the time the fag sucked my dick with an ice cube in his mouth? I'm like, no, you did not. No, you did not say that to me. And he looks at me and he goes like this, he goes, his mouth was cold. It felt tremendous. And I just fucking, but then another time was it.
His mouth was cold? That sounds terrible.
But in Spanish.
Yeah.
He goes, oye, te da la boca fría, compadre. Oye, me dio un mamón de tu, compadre, te da la boca fría. And then another time, I was about 18, and I was bartending. I was still in high school, and I would bartend one afternoon shift. And all my friends were there. We were all smoking dope and drinking. And he, like I said, he would hang out every day till 5, Tom Segura. And like a week before that, my friends got him high. He was talking about smoking dope, and they rolled the big bamboo, and they got him fucked up. He was on the table just laying there. And the next day he called me. He's like, what was in there? He goes, I don't remember walking home. I mean, he was just a funny dude.
Yeah.
So I had a friend called Darren, who was a bodybuilder, steroid fucking nut, cocaine, solid dude. Solid. You would love him, Tom Segura. I hang out with his cousin. And his cousin always says, you know what's crazy, Coco, right now? Darren would be in California with you. I know that for a fact. And by now, he would have smacked 3 people. He would have been my personal Mike Tyson. Darren did not fuck around. Especially after 80, when that white powder came around, he became...
Is he not around anymore?
No, he died. Before he died, he had gotten arrested for attempted murder. I knew him. I knew him all my life. He was my brother. But he saw his mother get cancer and die in front of her. He never recovered from that, Tom Segura. When you see your mom one day, she's healthy, and the next day, you got to pick her up and put her in the bathtub, that affects you a certain way. And they had gotten divorced. That's what it was. The divorce triggered it, and the mom with the cancer put the fucking, and 80, this was it. This was the answer. There was no other answer. There was no, let's hold hands and say a prayer.
Yeah.
The answer was, let's go snort a fucking 8-ball. And then he added Deca to the fucking mix.
Oof.
And now the juice, the contest, the cocaine, the whole thing. And there's an interesting story that the guy almost got me one night. And I grew up with this dude. Let's just say his name was Tommy. And one night I asked the guy, because I knew he was a cokehead. I go, tell him, anybody got anything? He goes, yeah, what do you want? I go, I want like a G-Bo or something. He goes, give me $100. I said, you got it on you? He goes, no, I got to call the guy. We'll call the guy. He goes, well, no. You got to call the guy. You got to give me the money, and I'll go outside and wait for him. You know what, Tom Segura? I know you a long time.
Yeah.
I'm not just giving you a yardstick. Call the dude. This went on for 10 minutes. I said, forget about it. And I looked at him and I go, I know you a long time. If you were going to beat me, just tell me. Well, a year later, I hear this story. Same thing, but he did it to my friend Rego. He took the money. Rego didn't play. Rego went to his house the next morning, knocked on the door. You know when people have glass squares by their door?
Yeah.
With curtains in front of him?
Yeah.
Rego just put his hand through one of them, opened the door and let him in. He ran at Darren. Darren punched him. He went through the table, the dinner table. Darren pulled the leg and started hitting him in the head with it. Cops came. Darren got arrested for attempted murder. He was out on bail when he died. But that's a true story. Darren was ready to start fucking... I saw him pick up a dude one time and throw him over a fence in front of the VFW. Another time, me and him couldn't get coke. There was a fucking snowstorm. I told Lee the story. We couldn't get cocaine, and we were sitting at a bar called Joe and Mary's. And this is the bar.
Yeah.
We're facing this way. That's where the TV is. That's where the pool table is. But there's a window here. And me and him have our drinks here. And we're looking out the window at the fucking 6 inches of snow and how cars are out. And we're praying for this coke dealer to get here. There was no coke on Thursday because of the blizzard. There's no coke on Friday because of the blizzard. And now there's Saturday and there's still no coke. The George Washington Bridge is closed, Jack. Unless you got a canoe, you're not getting into the city. So we had one guy who kept saying, man, I don't know if my car might get stuck. There's 3 feet of snow out there. Couldn't even get the newspaper in those days.
Fuck.
Me and this guy are sitting there. I told Louis that. I told the Christ killer this. We're sitting there, and he's fuming, Darren. And we look, and there's a guy minding his business, cross-country skiing. Like, wait a second, whoa. Like this is New Jersey. This is Bergen Line Avenue. Like, you want to go skiing, you go to the mountains. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This guy's out there like this is his lucky day. He's doing exercise. Now, I know about cross-country skiing because I was living in Colorado for a while.
Yeah.
And people would do it. There were people who were like fucking half retarded. Like, you go down the hill, no, you want to fucking pull yourself. Here's this poor bastard, I'll never forget this, pulling himself down the fucking Bergen Line Avenue. Bergen Line is like Broadway in fucking New York City.
Yes.
But there's no traffic, but this guy's going down. Darren looks at this guy and he goes, look at this fucking guy. And he looks at me and goes, let's just fuck him up. And next thing you know, like, he just pushed me and he started chasing the guy down. I'll never forget this. The guy's pulling himself, like, you know, singing like a Doris Day song.
Yeah.
And Darren just tackled him and started hitting him with the skis. It was crazy. And still like 8 of us were out there kicking him. It was like a scene from The Sopranos.
Jeez.
Then we dragged him.
This guy had no idea what the fuck was going on.
Nothing. We were all fucking pissed. And then we brought him and we put him over the VFW fence. And we drew the skis back then. He's back there moaning and groaning. And we're like, fuck you. Nobody skis on Bergen Line Avenue. We went back in the bar, and guess who shows up?
The coke dealer.
The coke dealer shows up. Oh my God. Everybody's fucking buying blow. Everybody's ordering doubles. We're fucking snorting. We're having a great time. Oh my God. And all of a sudden, it's 2:45, and there's police cars everywhere. And we look at him.
You didn't think to go home after doing that?
3 a.m. the bar's closed. It's 10 to 3. We're all fucking gazilled.
Yeah.
If there's 20 people at the bar, 16 of them, their jaws are going.
Yeah.
Telling stories about the war and God knows what else. All of a sudden, we're like, what the fuck? Everybody, please come out with your hands up, right? So we're like, what? We hide the coke, but I know one of the cops. I see one of the cops, and I know that if I shake his hand and put something in it, I might just be able to slip away. So I had like a little extra bindle. I put it in my hand. When I saw him, I said, hey, what's up? I put it, he goes, yeah, just keep on. He goes, he's okay, he's with me. And he walked me. But as I'm walking away, I look in a police car. Remember the guy we threw over the fence?
Sure.
He's in the back of the police car, and he's just trembling, right? They got blankets on him. They got like a guy with a heater on him. He's just fucking trembling.
Classic. Jesus Christ. You fucking psychos.
What a great fucking night that was.
I went out and did a meet and greet with the audience in Chicago because it was like, they were like, you know, there's still, it's a 3,500 seater. There's still, you know, 700 people waiting to say hi. And the way my brain works, I know this isn't healthy and I know this isn't popular and I know this isn't what everyone else does. But part of me says, if I paid to go see one of my favorite comics, it would be cool if he would take the time to come out and try to say hi to me. And so I went out, I did a meet and greet with everyone waiting in the street. They had like security guards and barriers and cops. But you just go out and you just go, let's circle them out. Get your phones in selfie ready mode. Let's do selfies. And people were cool. And I probably did maybe, I don't know how many people, but I did a few hundred people of selfies in a really short time. But I don't know if I can do that every fucking night, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
I enjoy doing the pictures. You
Yeah.
know, some clubs now, because we do clubs.
Yeah.
I don't want to do a theater, so the clubs will tell you.
I mean, we talked about this.
We talked about this.
Yeah.
The club will tell you, Joey, I'm sold out the second show. You can't go out there.
Yeah.
You can't go out there. You'll cause fucking pandemonium. It's too slow.
Yeah.
The show won't start till 11:30. Do us the favor. Just fuck it. Go out the second show. And that's what I do. They're clubs. There's nothing you can do. I love to meet them. I love to fucking
If you do the meet and greet, then you
Yeah.
are literally doing the meet and greet and then walking right on stage.
on stage.
You don't get any time to like sit back, relax,
And
go over
what
your
kills
notes.
me is that the people that are coming in for the second show will come and take pictures.
Oh, that drives me fucking
And it drives
nuts.
you crazy. So now you can't do it. You can't do it. Because it was supposed to be 100 people. But now it turned into 350. And you see the people taking pictures and going in and going. So you took a, you know what I'm saying? So now you cannot do it. You cannot do it. I love to work. And I love doing comedy. But here's the fucking bottom line. I'm an older gentleman now. And you know what, man? It burns me the fuck out. And I'll tell you what else. I'm not a feature no more. If I was featured, I wouldn't give a fuck because it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They're not there to see me. I don't give a fuck. When I was a feature, yeah, I'll come out and drink all night and
Yeah.
I'll work every week because it doesn't matter. I don't have to take pictures. You know how many people want to take pictures with me? 3 losers that don't like the headliner but like me. That's it. You're better than the headliner. We liked you a lot. Oh, that's great. And these are the guys that I'm going to call CIA on Monday and tell them that they like me more than the headliner. Shut the fuck up. You know. But that's the truth. So
Yeah.
you cannot give your all, and like that's why I don't do it every week. I cannot do it.
It's a lot. I look at those guys like when you hear about like, those Disney stars or the Jonas Brothers or those people who do the meet and greet and who give everything to their fans like Dane used to. I go, man, that's a lot of albums. It's a reason. I mean, Segura's not a dick. He just goes, I can't. You physically cannot do it. I remember texting Rogan one time. I was like, hey, what are you? I was at the Wilbur. I was like, am I supposed to do a meet and greet? There's 1,200 people here.
Yeah.
He was like, you can't do a meet and greet for a theater. And you can't. At the Wilbur, when I did the Wilbur last time, I did one show, early show, couldn't do a meet and greet. And there were people upset with me, like upset. They bring presents, they draw drawings, they make a care basket, and they're like, I just wanted to say hi. And then the late show, I was like, fuck it. I'll go to the bar down the street. If you want to meet me and say hi, go down to the bar. I showed up. I no lie, there was probably 500 people arm to arm in a bar. And I was like, maybe that was a bad idea.
Well, see, the problem at the bar is that I have a problem with this.
Yeah.
I'll meet you at the bar. But there's only one problem. As soon as the first camera comes out, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
That's it. That's my deal. I'll meet you at the bar.
Yeah.
But as soon as the first camera comes out, or the first stupid fucking question about the Joe Rogan podcast, episode 48,
Jesus.
when I was on there with Bert Kreischer and I talked about the Martians landing in Cuba, that's when I gotta go. Like, I gotta go. I just did 2 shows. I don't know what I talked about in episode 484 of Joe Rogan, nor do I want to remember.
So many people tell me about Joe Rogan, and I go, he's a great guy. And they're like, no, tell me
The
more
best
about
is when
it.
they come up to you and go, hey, man, tell Joe to come on back and see us. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll tell him right tomorrow morning.
Hey, I got this for you. Would you take this to Joe for me?
No.
Nope.
Nope. Take it yourself. Mail it to him yourself.
Fucking God forbid, I'm gonna fucking.
Yesterday we had a conversation about the emails that we get.
Yeah.
And like the creepy emails you get from people demanding things. Like, oh, well, I'm doing this thing and I want you to give it to Joe and tell Joe that I need this. And you're like, fucking tell Joe yourself. First off, Joe doesn't answer a fucking email. Yeah. Joe doesn't respond to an email or a fucking tweet. He knows better.
Yeah.
He keeps them way at fucking distance. We're the only assholes that talk and say hello and shit like that. He does meet and greets, which he's great at. He's really good at meet and greets, but he don't take shit at a meet and greet. He don't take no shit.
He is very quick. He's very
quick.
courteous.
He's very
like,
quick.
all right, come on, let's do it. Awesome.
Boom,
Thank you so much,
gone.
brother.
See
Thank
you
you very
later.
much.
Hey, man, excuse me. That time you talked about the tub, get the fuck out of here. Who knows what the fuck I said? That was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a tub now?
Those are fucking hilarious when you see the guy go, I just have one question about chemtrails. If you could talk to Eddie about this. And Joe's like, buddy, I'm sorry. It's over. Thank you so much for the picture. Who's next? Let's go. I wish I could be more like that. I get
I'm
get
like
the
that.
fucking.
I have to tell him. Listen, no, not tonight, guys. No, knock it off.
My problem with pictures, my problem with like going to hang out at a bar and people bringing out cameras is that it's always the girl who wants the 5th or 7th picture. She wants to keep taking pictures. You're like, you got one already. You got one taken. Like, yeah, let's.
Then they go get people. Oh, hey, you recognize this guy from Brothers to Conquer? And the guy's like, not really.
Yeah.
Can you take a picture with my friend? He doesn't know. Yeah. Why do you bring him over here soliciting for me? Why are you soliciting fucking pictures? Oh. If I see somebody sitting in a conversation, I do not bother. If I see somebody involved in a conversation, my world is done. My minute to talk to them, that's how my mom raised me. I don't know how your mom raised you, that when somebody's in a conversation, you have the right to come over and tap somebody on the shoulder and ask them to take a picture. That's completely wrong in my world.
Yeah.
Completely wrong in my world.
The one that gets me, because I love going to see comedy, is when I'm in the back of a show. And like I've had people when other comedians are on stage try to take a picture. And it doesn't happen to me that often, so I still like taking pictures just because it's weird. But to do it in the middle of a show when a comic's on stage, they have no fucking class. No class. It's like the other night we went to Irene's room. The what's the name of it? Roomy Cafe.
The Roomy Cafe. And there was a guy talking while a girl was on stage, like a comic. Talking like about his performance. I got bird in my next. Yeah, thank you. That's it.
Yep.
Bird in my next. Is it okay if I do the joke about the pigeon? What you say? Is it okay if I do the joke about the pigeon? I really want to try it. I'm doing an HBO showcase. And I'm shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up, there's somebody on stage! Do you not see somebody on stage? What's with the fucking questions? They drive me fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Or they eat. Or they just do little things that you sit there and go, is this necessary?
There was a guy at Roomy coloring or drawing the other day.
You know, and listen, I know it's an open mic. You know how many fucking poetry readings I snuck into in Bolden when I first started comedy?
Yeah.
But after a while, I got the hint and I stopped going. They didn't want me there. If you show up with a guitar to an open mic, I'm going to break it over your fucking head. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially like a musician. Like, if it's a comedy open mic, don't come in here with folk music. I don't want to hear your fucking folk boring music, man. I really don't. Save it for music. I don't go to music open mics for a reason.
Yeah.
Because I'm disrespecting you guys. Why would you bring a guitar and want to play it at the Roomy fucking Cafe for when it's all comedians trying to... It's getting weirder and fucking weirder out there.
Oh, fuck.
The people are the guys that bring the guitar on the plane. Those are the best. They're not even in a fucking band. Like, why are you guarding this guitar? Why? And then they sit all the way in the back. So that means they got to take a whole fucking space for that measly $233. They got to take the whole fucking space with their fucking wooden guitar because it's a piece of shit and they can't check it. It drives me crazy when I see a guy checking a skateboard,
Are you just gonna bring
a guitar, or a surfboard. I want to fucking shove it up their fucking ass.
I flew with a skateboard once.
I believe it.
And the guy, and I was
every time I see it with a skateboard, I make believe like I didn't see the skateboard.
I got on the plane and I had a skateboard, and the guy said to me, "Going to see your son?" And I was like, "What?" I look like a divorced dad. He just goes, "Going." I was at the bar. He's like, "Going to see your son and get him a skateboard?" And I was like, "No, it's my skateboard." And he was like, "God, you skateboard?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "How old are you?" I was like, 43. He was like, "Wow, you gotta be careful, man. You could really hurt yourself." And I was like, "Wait, what?" And then I was like, and then I looked at it, I was like, I don't look like I'm cool with a skateboard. I just look like I'm taking this home for my son. You know, when you see those dads coming home from drop off on their scooters, like the dad's kicking the scooter home, and you can say, "Oh, the kid rode the scooter to school, the dad's taking it home." So that's why I stopped. Now the girls,
how do you think? What do you think was the biggest factor that caused you to get so out of shape, Joey? If you could single down one thing,
the out of control eating.
Eating, okay.
The out of control eating. The out of control eating was I could eat. You know, nobody. When I was a kid, I was very thin, and I was ashamed, so I went on a tear. And I lifted weights, and I did everything you could do to get bigger, and I started gaining weight. And I stayed at a great weight till about 28. And then it was nothing serious. It was 220, 227, nothing serious. I still had big, broad shoulders. I still had big fucking hands, you know. Then once I got to Seattle, once I became a regular at the store, I was probably 255. And once I became a regular at the store, I just became unhinged.
Yeah, it's because like as you get a little bit out of shape, then you kind of, or you almost like give up, right? Like that's because then you're like, exercise becomes harder, so you exercise less. And then you get a bit more out of shape, and then you eat more. And then it's just this like vicious circle, right?
It's crazy about how at the age of 30, I was back in New York City. I had gotten divorced. I was broke. And I was exercising like a fucking lunatic. I worked at a gym for free because these two kids, when we were kids, their house burnt down. They lived over a bodega, and my mom helped them out. So when they recognized me, they said, "What is that? You're Coco." "No, you don't pay." So I had a gym in Jersey.
Okay.
And then I signed up for a boxing gym in New York because I could buy a locker and put clothes in there and my notebooks and shit.
Oh, shit.
So I could run around New York City, go to the boxing gym, get a little workout in for $20, pay a guy to hit the mitts a little bit, take a shower, put on a new outfit, write a few jokes, and I'd fucking go to do. So I always kept in shape. Colorado, I had a bench in my living room. It's once I left Colorado in 95, and I became in love with comedy. I can't explain what happened, but if we compare, it was 3 eggs for breakfast, a half a loaf of Wonder Bread.
Damn. Yeah, that's probably did it right there, just the Wonder Bread.
I could do 8 slices of, today I take a half a piece of bread and I cut the yolk. I don't eat any egg white. Fuck that shit. I only eat the egg yolk. And I only eat the egg yolk on a piece of bread, no butter, no nothing. Before, I would break the yolk, and I wouldn't be done till all the yolk juice was broken. If it took 12 pieces of bread with butter on them, it took 12 pieces of bread with butter on them. If it took 10, it took 10. And my wife would cook the whole pack of bacon.
Damn.
The Oscar Mayer, the whole pack, a prime cut, the middle cut.
Every morning?
Every morning before she'd leave. So I'd wake up to bacon. My wife's from the South, Jack. And my wife would have, let's be honest, 2 slices of bacon.
Yeah.
And I would eat the rest. Then I would smoke some pot, a few cigarettes, get my blood pressure really up. And I'd go to McDonald's and get the morning breakfast.
What? This is after you had the breakfast at home?
This is after I had the breakfast at home, an hour and a half later. It had to be before 11 o'clock.
Damn. Okay.
I'd go get the McMuffin with the potato and a full-size Coke.
Wow.
And then 2 hours, and I would go for Chinese food, which is just no bueno at any level. Soup, the fucking appetizer with the thing, the spring roll, it's the grease is coming out of it.
Yeah.
The rice is 6-7 points, but whatever was in the food, the goat meat and beginning and whatever fuck. Then I would go home and my wife would have some in the afternoon. I would eat like a piece of meatloaf, and then for dinner I would just kill it.
So this is like 6 meals a day, basically.
And then I'd go up, and if I was doing Coke, I would drink alcohol with soda. But even if I wasn't doing Coke, I would drink 16 sodas.
Jesus.
You just keep going back to the bar, drinking, you're thirsty. I would never think of water. I never even thought of water as an option.
Wow.
Like I only drank water when I take a vitamin. Like, fuck you. I'm going to drink fucking water. I never drank water since I was a kid. I didn't like water.
Something I noticed recently, I put this together because I put on a bit of weight and I'm trying to cut down. And I realized that all the people in my life who are thin, they all have one thing in common. And that's it. They all eat really slowly. They don't really eat anything different, but they just eat really, really slowly. Have you noticed that?
That's the secret.
Yeah.
That's the real secret. To eat half. Push the dish away.
Yeah, but it's difficult to do that.
Talk for 10 minutes.
Yeah. Can you do that? Because
I try now. I've been doing it lately. I eat a little bit and I push the dish away and talk to my daughter.
Okay.
And we talk at the table. We talk like a family. And then I'll pull the dish back in and eat the other half.
Fair enough. I got to get into that.
Because I'm a fucking savage. I eat like if I'm in prison. I really do. I eat like there's 20 dudes and there's 6 cheeseburgers. So that's what I eat like. I'm very ashamed of that time period in my life. You
Oh,
know?
man. We've all
And
got shit that we're
and
ashamed
it
of.
was so
dude.
weird because I still remember it being like February or January, and I borrowed money from Josh Wolf because I had an audition for a Pennzoil commercial, a Mafia commercial that was going to be huge. The Sopranos were out. So everything they were doing at the time was Mafia related. In 2000, from 99 to 2003, I booked everything that was Mafia related. I would go out on 3 Mafia auditions a week. But I booked the Pennzoil commercial, and they said, we need you back here Thursday for a callback, have a suit. I didn't have a suit. So I went to the Hollywood suit outlet, and they gave me 3 suits, 3 shirts, 3 fucking socks. for
3 belts,
200
yeah.
3 belts for $200, but you just don't smoke a cigarette next to that suit, you know? Because you will go up like a fucking, you will light up like a fucking terrorism bomber, you understand? You'll just blow up into flames. So I bought the 3 suits, see, they tailor them for you. And maybe 2 months later, maybe 6 weeks later, I had an audition, I had to put the suit on. I went to put the suit on. You know, sometimes you put your pants on and you just tuck your belly and you go, wow, I'm gaining some weight. Guys, I was 3 inches away.
From getting the trousers on.
I just bought this suit 6 weeks ago. And I'm 3 inches away. But at that point, the sleep apnea had kicked into my life.
Oh, yeah.
Had a heavy dose. And, you know, I found out that during sleep apnea, your body releases cortisol, which I was already starting to get the ball on my back.
What does that mean?
When at night, when you sleep, when you're a fat fuck and you can't breathe at night, your body goes into danger. And once that body goes into danger, what does your body release?
Cortisol, yeah.
So when you sleep and it happens at night, that's why when you see obese people, they have lumps on their backs.
Oh, shit.
That's the collection of the cortisol.
Really, huh?
Like when I finally decided to get help, it was when I could feel that I was 418.
418 pounds.
I was 418 pounds.
Yeah.
I did the longest yard, and the longest yard tricked me psychologically because I said to myself, this is going to be great because now I'm going to be the fat guy from now on. So what the fuck?
So let me just eat more.
What the fuck?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, what
Let's
the
just
fuck?
enjoy this. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, my favorite thing at those days was going and buying not the 16-ounce Coke, but the 32-ounce, and getting a pint of New York Super Fudge Chunk. And I had a big glass. My wife got me a glass from somewhere, like a milkshake glass. And I would take the whole pint of New York Super Fudge Chunk, empty it in a glass.
Oh, my God.
And put soda on it and mix it up.
God
until the whole soda and the thing were done. I was headed to death.
Gee, yeah,
Add the
that's-
cigarettes, add the cocaine, add the fucking sleeping 4 hours a night. I was just going. I was just going. And I remember that after the longest yard, while we were shooting the longest yard in New Mexico was when they put me on oxygen therapy. And at that time, when I shot the longest yard, I was probably about 380. And that's when I realized I got to do something with my life. So they had a trailer where you could work out, and I would go in there on the set and just do fucking, but I would never get on the scale. I didn't even want to see the fucking scale. Like, I didn't want to see the fucking scale. Like, I didn't find out I was 418 till I went to some fucking place and I got on their scale. It was like some doctor's office, and I was like 416, I think I was. That's the truth.
And I mean, that number 400, like once you cross that, I mean,
No, you're done. You're done. You're in murky waters of death.
Yeah.
It was something, Professor, that I can't. My wife was tying my shoelaces. She wasn't even married to me yet.
Is this the same wife you have now?
Yes, same wife I have now.
Sure, she really loves
She
you,
was
dude.
tying my shoelaces.
Yeah.
After the longest yard, I said, fuck it, I'll play the fat guy. If they're going to pay me, I'll play the fat guy. And I kept doing it, but guess what? There was no more fat rolls. So I thought it was acceptable. You know, I really thought this is acceptable behavior for me to do this. And I went across the street to the YMCA finally one day. I treated the YMCA like it was a gay bar. Like I wouldn't even look at it. Like I knew, I mean, Professor, when I tell you it was across the street, I'm not telling you it was around the corner. It wasn't even a 60-pace walk from my front door to the YMCA. It was a 3-minute walk.
And it's basically a free gym.
And it's
Or
a
close
free
to
gym.
free,
And
yeah.
I treated it like it was a place that gave out AIDS. Like, I'm not going in there. They're going to give me AIDS in there. And then finally I go, let me just go in there and see what's up. And I took up a brochure, a pamphlet that said, come in for a free health evaluation with a trainer.
Okay.
And I fucking signed up and I made it to the appointment. And the guy put me on the treadmill. And he put it up to 0.5. I think I had to get off after 30-something seconds.
God damn.
And the guy goes, listen, go, quit smoking, go for walks, and come back when you lose 30 pounds. He goes, there's nothing I can do for you.
Wow.
And then I went back there on my own. After I would box in the mornings and then go back there on my own and hit the bag, and I would ride the stationary bicycle at that time. And I went to Weight Watchers. Weight Watchers was the best thing that ever happened to me because
Really,
they
huh?
taught me how to think. Yeah. And especially now. Today the program is tremendous because it's all protein. That's all it is.
Fair enough.
You know, they don't even want you to eat. Even red meat's a little.
Seriously.
Like I had pot roast today and it cost me.
In the points, then.
The points.
So I'm not familiar with Weight Watchers. Remind me how it works again.
Right now, at this time, any piece of fish, shellfish, is free.
You can eat as much as you want.
You got 6 lobster tails? Bring them on.
Okay.
No sauce, but just the meat itself.
Just the meat itself. It's 5 points for a tablespoon of butter.
5 points.
5 points.
Wow,
So
okay.
you better play your cards right.
How many points do you get a day?
40.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
And so if I eat eggs are free,
As many eggs as you want.
65 eggs a day.
Damn. Okay.
And chicken breast are free. You can't lose.
Because protein keeps you feeling full.
Yeah. So you can't lose. You know, vegetables are free, juice is free. That's what you and I were discussing on the way up here. That a couple of weeks ago I weighed in and I was a pound overweight. I go, how did I gain a pound? It was because I was going to the acai place. And she explained to me that eating fruit and blending fruit is 2 different stories because of your saliva. Your enzymes in your mouth break it down and separate the sugars or something like that. So just learning that, it was worth the fucking program. Now I know that, they agree. If you want to eat 3 bananas with your eggs, if you eat 6 scrambled eggs and 3 bananas, it's fucking free.
Wow.
Like you just ate breakfast for free if you could do that.
That's
If
cool.
you put ketchup on your fucking eggs, it's going to cost you a couple points. But so there's ways to finagle the system, you know, and you lose weight.
Yeah.
And you lose weight. You learn how to eat the right way.
Yeah.
You know how many people have, I was referred for that surgery, and knock on wood, I didn't do it. Because
Gastric bypass?
Doesn't do nothing because
Yeah.
it doesn't change your eating habits. The best thing that ever happened to me was me walking into a Brazilian jiu-jitsu school.